What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Must Starts here on Football Guys. And my name is Daniel Harms, fantasy film analyst. Before we get going, we just had Thanksgiving pass us by. In the comment section, I want to hear you guys' favorite dish and dessert to have on this fantastic holiday. For me, I'm very traditional to start. I love my white and dark meat turkey with some gravy on top. To finish the meal, I go to a bourbon crumble pumpkin pie. It's a fantastic way for me to finish it every single year. So I hope to hear what you guys have and what you love to have on these big holidays. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that sub button and then allow me to earn a like from you as we get kicked off with Kyler Murray, who's currently quarterback 9 on Football Guys Weekly Ranks. Since he's returned, he's been quarterback 6. And in those games, he's been quarterback 8 in fantasy points per game at 19.5 points. He only has 1 passing touchdown, but he's got 2 rushing touchdowns. And that rushing floor is really what sets him up for success every single week. He's got the 4th most rushing attempts among quarterbacks over those past 2 weeks as well. He really is picking up where he left off, and he looks incredibly healthy in terms of his movement in the pocket and the ability to get the ball downfield and drive off of that back leg right there. This is a fantastic throw to Rondale Moore down that right-hand seam. And what I love about this is that it sets up a really nice play for the Arizona Cardinals. You got this big dig route over the left to backside of the formation. You're going to have a little bit of a curl here. The same from Trey McBride down the middle of the field. And then you get this little bit inside release, jab, step out, and then take it all the way up the middle of the field. A little bit of a flare release from the running back. And then on the back end, we get a little bit of a rotation from the Houston Texans, who, again, are just kind of like looking in this cover 4 shell. You're going to have this cornerback back off here to make it look like it's cover 4. And then they rotate out of that into a cover 3. So this safety's coming down, and this safety's going to middle. Boom, boom. And then this corner coming all the way back. What I love about it is that you see Kyler just kind of like sit back there. He's looking down middle first. And then he sees, all right, I got a safety coming in. And he just launches this to Rondale Moore down the field. There's 0 wasted space on this. It's a fantastic moonball throw. That's what I loved about Kyler. You have this ability to throw the ball to all levels of the field with accuracy. And then we also bring in his rushing ability. Those legs, while he might not be like 100% burst Kyler Murray that we're used to, he can move, and he still looks like the same guy we got used to seeing his first couple years in the NFL. That quick twitch right there is maybe not all the way back, but he's definitely got some speed there. And I love that he can still see the field extremely well. He's getting up inside the pocket a little bit of pressure from the tackle positions coming in at him. He steps up. It's a little bit of a deeper route, but he takes off and makes them pay with his legs. And then you have a play like this. It's driving the football to the tough parts of the field. This is what I love about what he's doing when he's coming back. So they're going to motion Trey McBride from left to right and give you that 3-by-1 formation look. Then they're going to run a sail concept. Inside release from Marquise Brown, who's going to take this down the field. You have Greg Dortch, the corner route, and then Trey McBride's going to give you that flat route. So you have this sail concept here, clear out route from Marquise Brown, and Dortch, the torch is back, y'all. I love getting to see Greg Dortch play more snaps. He's got a real connection with Kyler Murray. This is a fantastic throw to the right sideline from Kyler. Just steps up into the throw in between 4 defenders who are, right in that area. There's 4 guys around there, and he's able to put that on the money. So what I'm seeing from Kyler Murray right now is a guy who's confident in his own body and his ability to drive the football down the field and to some of the tougher parts from the outsides. So he's absolutely a must start going forward. He looks healthy. He looks good in this system in Arizona with Jonathan Gannon that he's brought in. It's fantastic. They're doing a good job getting him into his best positions to succeed. And I think that he's going to be a guy that you can absolutely start every single week just because of that rushing floor he presents. So yeah, Kyler Murray as the quarterback 9 on those weekly ranks. Go ahead and plug him in, and let's see what he's got going the rest of the season. Into the next guy, what I love talking about. He's just consistently going to be scoring you touchdowns. Gus Edwards, running back 26 on Football Guys Weekly Ranks. And why I love him so much is he's always in the end zone. He's got 10 touchdowns this season. And yes, I know that it's not fun to bank on touchdowns, especially when you're talking about a 45% rushing share, or a 45% snap share for the Ravens running backs. But he's been running back 2 since week 7. Running back 4 in points per game. Scored 9 touchdowns in that span. He's the clear goal line back in one of the best offenses in football. And the Chargers are 8th in points given up to running backs. So what am I missing about Gus Bus here? Like, he's just going to continuously get the football inside the 10-yard line every time they get in there. We've seen teams be able to score on the Chargers. And one thing that we know about the offense that's happening here in Baltimore is that they're actually using Lamar Jackson less as a goal line back. That's fantastic news for Gus Edwards, who, again, is just going to take this pin pull action. They're going to pull the center and the tackle, and they're going to actually also lead block Isaiah Likely, who's come down here like wedged in between these guys, and they're just going to pull. Here you go, and then pull. We're going to block down, and then just take this. Here you go, Gus. Take it in the end zone. Like, there's not much else to do here about Gus Edwards except for the fact that he's going to continuously score fantasy points, and he could break off big runs still. This is a really nice job here on an outside zone that it looks like he's just trying to get out here. All these guys blocking down. The way he's looking with his shoulders is to the outside hip of that tackle here. And then what he can do, all right, I'm going to stick my foot in the ground and I'm going to get back to the right side. Everyone's flowing the other way. I'm going to still hit this big play for my offense. He's not the fastest guy in the world. We know that. But he's scored big touchdowns and scored multiple touchdowns in a ton of his games this year. So for me, when I'm looking at his ability and why they're not using him a ton more why they're not using Lamar a ton more in the red zone is because Gus Edwards is healthy. He looks good. And this is a back-to-back play sequence here. When they got down in the red zone, it wasn't Lamar Jackson getting any of those. It was just them handing the ball off to Gus Edwards. Get inside the 5. All right, we'll hand it back off to you. We'll speed up a little bit and we'll get him in the end zone. So yeah, relying on touchdowns isn't something we can always do with running backs, but Gus Edwards is not just like a guy who's going to score those touchdowns, who's going to only come in and vulture. He's their starting running back. They're going to mix in Justice Hill. They're going to mix in Keaton Mitchell, who's getting more play. But at the end of the day, the guy who's going to be the one running back you can plug in and consistently start every week for the Baltimore Ravens is Gus Edwards. At running back 26, for me, I just feel like he's going to continue to score touchdowns and I think we might see another high-scoring game. Just a back and forth where he's not on the bench a ton, where he's getting inside the red zone there. So Gus Edwards is a must start for me. It's a little bit of a head-scratcher with his ranking at running back 26. I think he's going to be much higher, as he's been since week 7. So go ahead. You can trust Gus Bus to get you in the end zone this week, I believe, against the Chargers defense. This next guy is one of the most fun players to watch, I think, right now in the NFL. He's getting limited touches, but he's going to be booming the rest of the season. There's a change in the air in Pittsburgh, and Jaylen Warren, currently running back 22 on Football Guys Weekly Ranks, is going to be a benefactor and a beneficiary of this offensive coordinator change in Pittsburgh. Currently, he's got a near timeshare with Najee Harris, 55% snap share to 45% snap share. He's 14% target share, which is 3rd on the team, and he's 1st in yards after contact per attempt among NFL running backs, 4.44 yards. 4th in missed tackles forced. He's been fantastic this season in that. He's tied for 6th in 15-plus yard runs with 8. And since week 8, he's been the running back 9 and the running back 11 in points per game. Let's check out what makes Jaylen Warren so fantastic and why I'm a big fan of his game, not even just this week, but going forward. He feels like a guy that you have to start every single week, and he's such a tough runner. This is what I love about watching plays like this. This is a really well-constructed run play from the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. You're going to see him come down here, a little bit of split zone with number 83 coming across. Offensive lineman block down to the right. They're also going to bring an end around option here with Deontay Johnson. So you have a little bit of a different feel where this ball could go a lot of different places. You have motioning, you've got movement, and Jaylen Warren's going to hit this to the outside, but he's going to take it in a little bit of a different direction once he feels Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah coming downhill. So he's going to take it, boom, puts his foot in the dirt, spins off of him, and then gets into open space where he's going to take, Greg Ward out here and take him for a little bit of a ride with a stiff arm. He's a fantastic vision-based player too. So he's coming up inside this split zone. He sees his left side blockers getting pushed down. So he's going to take it outside, put his foot in the dirt, and then just make Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah miss and then get upfield, trying to get as much as he can. We know he's going to get catch passes. We know that he's going to be that guy that comes in on third down. And then we add this fantastic home run hitting ability that he has. Get him into space. He's a dangerous space player. He can take a lot of different these runs to the house. But this is what I loved about this. You get a little bit of this jet motion here from Calvin Austin. Got a little bit of these linebackers like, where am I going to go? You also get number 0 actually reads it right. But this is just a pitch play. They're going to pull number 77, pull him out across. What you want to do on plays like this is you understand offensive linemen aren't going to be able to hit every single block, right? So he's not going to be able to get this defender who comes down. But if you can get one player in space against Jaylen Warren, you're good to go. Set up the rest of the blocks here. It would have been nice to see number 77 actually hit the block and let Jaylen get out there, but he takes it the rest of the way because he's elusive, he's fast, and he can hit any hole, make guys miss in space too. That's what I love about that. And then, look at him. He's so tough to bring down. He breaks tackles. He makes guys miss based off of his foot quickness and his foot speed. We have another one of these split zone runs where they're going to almost run a counter. So you're going to have intention from Jaylen Warren and Kenny Pickett out to the left, and then they're going to come back to the right. This is a really nice play from Warren because coming down, number 91's already in the backfield. You have Owusu-Koramoah coming this way. So he's going to put his foot in the dirt and then get upfield. This is just a fantastic read. Boom. Break tackle. That little bit of put his foot in the dirt and get upfield forced a missed tackle from Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah just because he was so shifty and he made him have to come downhill and respect that he can take that to the outside. So Jaylen Warren, who's, like I said, running back 22 on Football Guys weekly ranks, is a guy you plug into your lineup every single week at this point. Flex, running back 2, it doesn't really matter. He's a guy that's going to continue to put up points because this offense is anemic. Hopefully the boost in the offense from a new offensive coordinator using Jaylen Warren more is going to allow them to score more points, and he's a guy that I love and to have in every single one of my lineups that I have him in must start this week and going forward as the guy who scores maybe the most points week in and week out for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. The last guy we're going to talk about is one of my favorite players from 2 draft cycles ago. More of an underrated guy coming out of Boise State. Khalil Shakir is currently wide receiver 49 on Football Guys weekly ranks and week 7. His snap share has gone up to 71.5% of the time, which he was more around 40% earlier in the season. And he has a 12.5% target share. He's got 72.75% of his routes being run now. He's pretty much fully involved in the offense. He's got 16 targets, 14 catches, 288 yards, which is a 72-yard per game average. Khalil Shakir has become the next reliable player for the Buffalo Bills offense. He's the guy that you want to see playing more. You probably can't see that. I think we'll go this way. There we go. A little bit better. Khalil Shakir is definitely a guy who's going to be playing more for this offense. And I do think that regardless of Joe Brady now calling the plays there in Buffalo, that Khalil Shakir is going to continue to get run in this offense. Those snap shares are not misleading at all. He deserves to be the wide receiver 3 in this offense. He should be getting targeted far more than Gabe Davis because Gabe Davis is pretty much toast, in my opinion. He's not a very good receiver. But at the end of the day, what matters here is that he's running a backside dig, in route, whatever you want to call it. And the attention is going to be from Josh Allen's eyes going to the right with their 2 most dangerous receivers in Stephon Diggs, who's running this corner route, and then Dalton Kincaid is running an in route and underneath route here. So his eyes are going to go right. This motion from the running back is going to widen this linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And then you have the dig route from Khalil Shakir over the middle of the field. It's a fantastic read right to the middle of the field. Boom, nice throw. Khalil Shakir is wide open for some yards after the catch as well. I love watching him play in this offense with a lot of space because he's a good mover. He's not the best athlete. He's not the best yards after catch guy, but he's going to find himself in space a lot and be able to make his quarterback understand that he's going to be there for him no matter what. I've talked about this so many times on these videos. Become available to your quarterback. This is a very basic play. It's just a curl. So he's going to get that depth, and then he's going to feel that corner right on him, right? He's going to feel it right on him. So instead, you're going to see him at the top of his drop or at the top of his route here. Use that inside hand right there. I feel them. Okay. I've got space underneath. Get into it. Allow quarterback to throw the football to you where only you are and no one else is getting to you. You get that little bit of hesitation from the corner as you get into that curl route, and then you come back to the football. Always come back to the football. Become available to your quarterback. It's one of the best things you can consistently do. And on first down, you get 7 yards there. That's fantastic field position. And then playing with Josh Allen just gives you a bump as a player. I can't explain it any more than that right here. This is 5 wide. They only rushed 3. And this is still going to be a long touchdown to Khalil Shakir, who, like I said, maybe not be the best guy in space, but he did a great job here of extending this to the outside and then running it back into the middle. And this is just a howitzer throw from Josh Allen to Khalil Shakir. But what I liked about it is, again, you're going to see that he's going to extend this route outside first. So stemming it to the outside, opening up the space, because he knows he wants to get down the seam here. So if he can get outside first, widen as much as he can right here, underneath, number 26 is coming through. So he comes underneath that route here. You have 3 looking this way, and then it's just all over from there. Sauce almost was able to come up with this ball, but that's just kind of shows you why starting these receivers, specifically Khalil Shakir and guys like Stephon Diggs every single week. Maybe Shakir's more of a flex play at this point, but regardless, he's definitely a guy who's going to continue to see his volume go up because he's been reliable. And one thing we can say about Gabe Davis is that he's not been reliable. So as wide receiver 49 this week, I think that Khalil Shakir has worked his way into a flex role, wide receiver 3 type position for your offense and for your fantasy teams because he's been reliable. And we know Josh Allen bump is there. The offense is rolling right now. It seems to be on a good pace. I think Joe Brady's going to have some things working, play action game, and just the run game in general, which opens up bigger plays for guys like Khalil Shakir. So yes, must start for me this week as that wide receiver 49 on the weekly ranks. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown, the film, the stats, all that fun stuff. And again, make sure to get in the comments. Let me know what your favorite Thanksgiving dish and dessert is. Also add in your favorite play from the weekend slate for week 12 in the NFL season. Hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the fat weekend that is Thanksgiving weekend, the 4 days that we get to eat as much food as we want. And you guys have a great NFL Sunday. I'll see you guys next time.